Lauren Southern released her latest documentary, Borderless. Unfortunately for Lauren, she is being soft censored by YouTube. I'm not going to come out of the gate and say it's deliberate. I don't know why it's happening. But Lauren's video is not appearing in subscription feeds. No one's being notified that it's come out. And it doesn't even appear on her channel except for when she put it in a playlist so that you could actually see it. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of people who think it's a conspiracy and YouTube is pushing their thumb on the scale. I honestly would not be surprised if that's the case, but admittedly, I have no explanation for why this is happening. So when it comes to possible situations, you have a really weird scenario where Lauren's documentary on European migration is just not appearing. So, well, it is what it is, but let's take a look at exactly what happened. Now, before we get started, check out timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There is a monthly donation option, a cryptocurrency option, a physical address, but of course you can just like and comment on this video because that engagement really helps, or just share it because sharing is like YouTube goes crazy for shares. They love that stuff. So Lauren's been working on this documentary for a while. She's released clips and she's actually done some breaking exposés, I guess you could put it. She, several months ago, released footage showing one of these NGOs. They were talking about how they teach migrants to lie to pretend to be refugees so they can get into Europe. This caused a huge uproar. BuzzFeed, the weirdest thing, BuzzFeed writes this story, which is like, okay, listen. In this video, you have NGOs manipulating the asylum system, the refugee system, helping people who are not refugees get into the country. This hurts the actual refugees. It's mind-blowing to me. I've actually met with people. I've actually sat down with real refugees seeking asylum. These two brothers, they were going to be forced to join the military to fight ISIS. They didn't want to do that. So they were under threat. It's either that or prison. So they sought asylum. I can totally respect and understand that. It's a complicated situation. A lot of people feel like they should stay and fight ISIS. But I digress. This is a woman who's trying to teach people how to lie. And BuzzFeed's response is, this is going to have a huge impact. Oh, and they make it seem like she did something wrong. It's called journalism. You reveal corruption. It's mind-blowing. You don't have to agree, you know, but it's hilarious how BuzzFeed frames this. So Lauren tweeted out her documentary. It is up now on her YouTube channel, if you're familiar with her. I want to say one thing quickly about Lauren. Many people talk about the conservative females that are all blonde and look very similar. Lauren sets herself apart with the past couple documentaries she's done, and I think she's done a fairly good job. It's hilarious how they hate her for kind of tribal reasons. I've absolutely been very critical of, you know, when she went on the boat in the Mediterranean, and a lot of her opinions I completely disagree with, very, very much so. But when the documentaries she's done, Farmlands and Borderless, she's actually kind of walked back a lot of the right-wing narrative you hear online and kind of tempered her position, which I think is a bit fair. It highlights that there are issues, yes, but she's like, it's, you know, she brings up in the Borderless documentary, it's not, you know, a bunch of people who are coming to destroy Europe. These are people born to bad circumstances. They're being manipulated. And I think that's fair to point out. I think it's also very smart. And I think it shows that while she's definitely going to have her opinion and be biased on the matter, she's not waving signs saying the end is nigh. Well, unfortunately, her premiere for the video didn't work. So I guess Lauren was trying to do a premiere mode. It's when the video plays as if it's live. I really think it's a bad idea anyway. I think premiere it works in some capacities. Maybe this was the right way to do it. You know, you have a big documentary release, you want to do a premiere on YouTube. You can, when you premiere a video, it's like a live stream. You can super chat, and if you jump in at like 7:15 and start at 7, you're 15 minutes in, so you're going to be missing a lot of it. I don't know why YouTube wanted to do it. But there was also issues where you have Ian Miles Chong noted, when you try adding it to your favorites, it shows up as a deleted video. Team YouTube responded. They said this definitely shouldn't be happening. We recommend reaching out to our creator support team who can dive into this further with you. Here's a link to contact them. Now, it's entirely possible, excuse me, this is all just a gosh darn coincidence. But here's the important bit. Whether this was censorship, soft censorship, whatever the issue is, this is some kind of defect in the system, or it's deliberate, and it's going to be massively detrimental to the video. One of the most important things on YouTube is the initial release. So when YouTube's trying to figure out who to recommend this video to, including your subscribers, initial response is the most important factor. I'll get to that in a second. I just want to show you some more of these tweets. Lauren said, when you keep getting tweets about 0 notifications for your YouTube video upload so you can post a community message, but no one can see that either. This is where I start to think someone's got their thumb on the scale, because if nobody got a notification, if the video doesn't even appear, and she can't even show a community post, it's kind of stacking up to be, how did all of these systems fail at once? Now, of course, it's entirely possible they all failed at once. There's a lot of reasons why YouTube screws up. A couple days ago, I kept getting an error. I couldn't even upload a video, and it was like, I ended up getting the video uploaded like 2 minutes before 10 a.m. But let's check out some more of these tweets. Lauren Chen said, I'd followed a link to see Borderless, but I just checked my sub feed and it's not actually there. Weirdly enough, it's also not showing up your channel's upload page. Now that I found interesting. This is just a tweet from Lauren saying, what's up. So here's the thing. Go to Lauren's page, okay? She's got 700,000 subscribers. Her channel is twice the size of mine. Here's her documentary. This is a playlist she created and placed on the front of her page so that when you go to her page, you see this. Borderless 2019 official documentary. It's an hour and 27 minutes long. But what happens, when you click videos? Well, here's the first thing I'm going to do. Earlier this morning, I clicked videos, and this is what you see. Her documentary doesn't appear. It's possible. Seriously, I opened this page like 15 minutes ago. And when I saw this, I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. It's not appearing for me, but I want to see if they fixed it. So here we are on Lauren Southern's page. I'm going to click videos now and see if they've fixed it so that it appears in her video feed. It doesn't. There you go. I just loaded that in real time. Her documentary is not showing up as one of her uploads. Uploads are reverse chronological. You can go back in time 1 month, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Nothing. It's not there. Why? That's weird, okay? So let's go through this one more time. Her documentary on the European border issues and the migrant crisis isn't showing up on her page. It's not even in people's playlists. Nobody got notified of it. And when Lauren posted in the community section, letting people know that it was up, nobody saw that either. That's a lot of failures. Again, I want to stress, I have no evidence to suggest that someone's putting a thumb on the scale, but I would like to point out it's kind of weird, especially with all the censorship we've seen as of late. So here's another thing I want to do. This is what happens when you open up the documentary, right? So this is Borderless on YouTube. We can see 62,494 views. When we go here, let's go home. I believe it's the same, right? 64,000 views. Okay. This is a video I made yesterday. I have, on my main channel, 480,000 subscribers, so maybe like 60% of Lauren's. This video is me talking about a big news story. However, let's check out some analytics. Lauren's documentary and my video both went up yesterday. However, Lauren's video went up, I believe, early in the morning. My video went up at 4 p.m. My video has 223,000 views as of the filming of this video. Look over here. What you can see, this is a full analytics breakdown I used through vidIQ. We can see Reddit upvotes. There were 5 Reddit posts and 85 upvotes with 27 comments. Let's take a look at Lauren's. 15 Reddit posts, 383 upvotes, and 64 comments. You might not understand what that means, but let me break it down for you. This video was shared to 15 different times on Reddit. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the things, but that should give you a boost in viewership because you've got the video appearing across the board. So let me just right. So you look at my video and you can see it's got a third of the posts. Here's the thing: the way YouTube works, they post something, then they start recommending it. In the first hour, it's like the first 5 or 10 minutes, you need serious interaction. The better your click-through rate, the more YouTube will start sharing your video with more and more people. One of the reasons I think we're looking at a bit of shenanigans is that I personally feel like it is less likely that my video would get as much traction as it did relative to Lauren's breaking news documentary. I think this is the reason the viewership is low, and the reason my video has more views is because Lauren's was weighted down. So let me show you some analytics. These are the analytics for my video yesterday. Take a look down here at real-time activity. You can see it's as of the filming of this video. I took a screenshot a few minutes ago. 8:28 a.m. was when I took the screenshot. It's actually a half an hour after that. It's like 9 a.m. I'm filming this. 240,671 live views. But look at that trend. This is fairly common for my videos on all of my channels. When the video launches, everyone gets notified, and then over time it goes down. But you can see that browse features is 73.2% of views. What this means is, when this video was posted, this gray track is my average, this video was performed above average. YouTube started recommending this video to more and more people. This is what it looks like when your video does well. But this arc, this is what it looks like all the time, regardless of how many views you get. So imagine, these blue lines mean nothing, okay? There's no numbers behind them. This is just a percentage metric. Because Lauren's video people weren't notified of it, because it wasn't in their subscription feeds, because it was actually not appearing on her channel, here's what happens. Imagine this first line is 10,000 views. Then you're going to go 10,000, 8,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2, 1, 0. The initial hour is that big boost you need to get traction in the YouTube algorithm. Whatever happened weighed down Lauren's video, so in the first hour she didn't get enough views, and then over time she's not going to get a lot of views, and I find that very strange for several reasons. When we look at all of the weird issues where it's not look, I just showed you, it's not even on her channel. Why? I don't know. You know how that's going to impact the video in the long run, but it's also strange because people are sharing this video. People have been waiting for Lauren to put out this documentary for a long time, and then it dropped. YouTube didn't tell anyone, and her views are only 64,000 in the first day, and my video is way higher than that. The only reason I think, so again, let me stress this. She has way more subs than I do. The video is way more anticipated. It's a way bigger deal than my video commenting on Facebook policy. Why did my video do, nearly 4 times as many views? It's not like my video's better. It's literally me reading news articles and talking about issues. People have been waiting for Lauren's documentary, Borderless, for a long time. Now, I'll say this. Sure, it's possible no one really cares. I doubt it. Check this out. 15 Reddit posts. She's got 10 more posts to Reddit than my video did. Yes, this was a highly anticipated video. We can see from what everyone's saying, it's not appearing, they're not getting notifications, and I think the issue is, I'm gonna have to lean towards somebody put their thumb on the scale, right? I know most of you will immediately default to that position. I recommend, not jumping the gun into hardcore. We know they're doing it, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, Tim, you're being naive. Of course they're doing it. I think it's possible. Absolutely. I lean in that direction. If someone asked me to put money down on whether or not I thought YouTube was censoring Lauren Southern's documentary, I'd say I think they were. I don't have proof to suggest that. I just have some weird circumstances that stack up and make me think they don't like what she's doing, and they're not, going to allow this to take off. There's no reason for a highly anticipated documentary to get weighed down in this capacity. Now, you could argue a couple things. Lauren doesn't post regularly, and that's a huge issue in the algorithm. Because I post every day, YouTube is like, this is an active channel, let's keep promoting it. Lauren hasn't posted for a couple months. When was a month ago. So YouTube might be thinking, well, she doesn't post enough, so the channel is relatively inactive. They don't recommend it. Sure, maybe they don't recommend it. That doesn't explain why her community posts weren't appearing. It doesn't explain why no one got notified. I didn't get notified, and I'm subscribed to her channel. And the only way I found it was because someone else tweeted about it, and I was like, oh, she's put out the documentary. So you could argue algorithm, you could argue all these things. It still comes off as very weird. And final thought on the issue is that ultimately, if you don't get traction in that first hour, YouTube won't show it to anybody. And the other issue is, if YouTube doesn't even tell her own, Lauren's subscribers the video is out, then people can't share it, they can't engage with it, and that's crazy. You'd think with 700,000 subs, you'd get traction. But final thought, completely reiterate, out of all this, whatever your opinion is, her video's not even on her page. How does that happen? No, seriously. It's been a day. Okay, Team YouTube responded to it, and Lauren's video page, I just loaded it again. Let's do it one more time for good measure. This is Lauren's YouTube page. I click videos. It's not there. It's not there. Why? That's weird. And you know what? When you have something like, Lauren producing a documentary that kind of pushes back on the mainstream narrative, I'm not surprised. And I'll end by doing this. Look how BuzzFeed treats an actual undercover, sting revealing corruption within NGOs. What this woman claims to be doing is violating the asylum process and causing serious damage to actual refugees. Let me stress, man. I did a documentary called Brothers of Refuge, where I met two brothers. One had gotten refugee status in Romania, and his brother was in Turkey. Turkey was safe. You know, he was kind of okay, but he was worried because Turkey didn't grant him, he was considered like a guest. He wasn't officially protected. They could send him back, and Syria is just across the border. So he was trying to, go move in with his brother, and it was very, very difficult. He was concerned if he was sent back to Syria, he'd be forced to join the military, he could likely die. Now, you can argue all day and night. You think he should have done that. A lot of people have pushed back saying they should stay and fight in all that regard. The point is, he was seeking refugee status because he didn't want to be forced to join the military. And you know what? Sure. That's an honest position. I don't want to join the military. I don't want to die. I don't want to fight in this war. I'm going to leave. That's a real reason to try and get out of your country. There's a war going on, and you don't want to die. I understand. I respect that, okay? Whatever your opinion is. It's different when someone says, I want a job and I want to go to this city, and they're economic migrants. We should be prioritizing asylum seekers over economic migrants, and anybody who wants to come as an economic migrant has to go through the legal process, as do asylum seekers, but the legal process for asylum seekers is way different. We want to save your life. We don't want you getting hurt. If you're an economic migrant and you want a better job, well, look, man, we got a lot of people who need to come in here who might die, and they get priority. That's triage. When this woman starts teaching people who aren't asylum seekers how to lie to get access to the country, they're displacing the good people who are genuinely crying and afraid for their lives. And that, to me, is offensive, especially when BuzzFeed then smears Lauren and tries to make it seem like she did something wrong for calling out those who manipulate the system and actually threaten the lives of people. I can't stand the tribalism. And I'll end by saying this. Lauren and I have strong political differences, okay? I think she does a lot better than certain blonde conservative pundits. Seriously, I think Borderless, here's my critique of Borderless. It could just be me, I doubt it, but I think the audio levels weren't normalized. So I'm like, I had to crank up the volume. That's about it. I think it was really well put together. There was a lot of really great shots. Check it out. Consider that Lauren is a conservative, and whenever you're watching a documentary, you need to understand the perspective of the filmmakers because, they have an idea. But Lauren does end by saying she thought she understood what was going on, but, she kind of learned more. And these people aren't, trying to destroy anything. They're not bad people. They're just people who want to make their lives better. They were born in bad circumstances. And I think it really tempered her previous statements. I can respect that while disagreeing with a lot of the things she's done, whatever. It is what it is. I'll leave it there. What do you think? I know, basically everyone's in the comment section, they're going to be like, of course YouTube's censoring it. Because, I don't know what you want me to say if the video's not even on her page. What do you call that? If YouTube knows about it, the video's not even here. That's insane. Let's just double check. Look, Lauren Southern, verified, Borderless, it exists. It's got thumbs up, it's got a URL, and this is Lauren's page, and it's not there. Whatever. Okay, I'm not going to ramble anymore. If you want to support my work, go to timcast.com/donate. I don't intend for this to be a video promoting Lauren's documentary, but, as a side, you now know it exists. I recommend watching it. Whether you like her or not, I know there's going to be a bunch of, BuzzFeed type hit pieces against her, but it doesn't matter. You should try and learn as much as possible. That means watch Lauren's documentary, but also I recommend looking into as much alternative sources as possible, and I think Lauren would recommend the same thing. Research for yourself, come to your own conclusions. She's just one source. It kind of pushes back on a mainstream narrative. We should absolutely have a real discussion about what's happening. So go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Stick around. I'll have more segments coming up shortly. If you're listening on the podcast, leave a good review. It really helps. And stay tuned. I will see you shortly.